All right, good Sunday morning. It's time for everything find. Magic find, rune find, base find, find. So, yesterday, hilarity ensued. Yesterday, of course, I decided to stop filming about 8 o'clock-ish in the evening and jump on my Amazon for fun. And, of course, found like a Vex rune. And I'm like, okay, or no, excuse me, a pole rune. And it just happenstance. So didn't want to record, didn't want to set up OBS, didn't want to do anything. Just wanted to kind of like bump around and do silly stuff, and that's luck. So what are you gonna do?
I am overburdened. I am overburdened.
Mm-hmm.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
Interesting. Whoa. Oh, everybody's here. All right. Immune to everything, huh? Okay. We'll take care of that. Reese got here. Oh, well. That's fine. We'll see what the next terror zone is. So, really looking for better guides, looking for, obviously, my obsession for runes. Um, who knows? Who knows what we're going to find today?
I can't carry anymore.
Not really. I mean, honestly, not really magic finding, because don't want to. I have the gear for it, and that's all well and good. But it's like, it's supposedly. Oh, holy mackerel, that was quick. All right, I got it. Caraspador. Simple. Oh, I hear issues. No problem. It's just a matter of, time, consistency, effort. So
I can't
everything will
carry
come to you.
anymore.
I had filled up my entire like rune tab last night, and that was really like great. But then I decided it was time to make like a mule just for
I
like
can't carry
anything in the
anymore.
teens, because they just
It's locked.
take up way too much space, and I get them too often. So I figured if I did that, I would have um, like an outlet for the very entry level runes, and I could focus on the main ones that I was on the hunt for on a alternate tune. So that way I didn't get lost in the sauce and have like 14th 30 soul and like all this other stuff, and just got, you know, basically like rune blind because you're just looking at the same thing over and over and over again. So it's funny how they start all looking alike.
I am overburdened.
And then I went back to, like, you know, messing around with like lower level characters. That way I can start obtaining some of the chip gems that I need, because upgrading runes is always like a big process, and you're like, okay, where's the sapphire, where's the amethyst, where's this, where's that? So again, organization, little ounce of preparation. So easy to do, hard to master, like anything else. Practice makes better. So
It's locked.
it is. And guess what I have? Nothing. One of these days, I'm going to like open up a chest and just be flabbergasted. It's going to be something amazing, and I'm going to lose my mind, and it's going to be like, you know, all worth toting around the keys for. It'll be the hallelujah moment. So we'll see. Like anything, it's all excellent and random and unique. So pretty much like life. Random happenstance, random chances, random encounters, just random. Turn out for good stories. Alright, that's something.
I am overburdened.
Hmm. Yep, took care of it for me. Thanks. I appreciate the work, Fazell. Voila.
I am overburdened. I am overburdened.
What are we? 69%, so yeah, ha 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 ha. Still can't get it to pop off.
I am overburdened.
Alrighty.
I am overburdened.
Can we go for 91 today? Yike. It's attainable. It'll be a grind, but we'll see how the terror zones fall out. If it's any of like the entry level ones, like um, the rogue encampment, or like the beginning of Act 2, it's going to be a little tough just because the population is low. Usually. I could be mistaken. I just seem to find it as a little disheartening. Oh, hello. Mikey, likey. There we go. I always look for kind of like the denser areas that have like the flare jungle, the Great Swamp, the areas like that that just have like massive, massive population. That way, the experience grind is a little bit more generous. I gotta really start doing. I really have to start doing Ubers because my torch is like mild at best. Um, so it wouldn't be too
I can't care
painful to
anymore.
start the process of gearing for Ubers. Um, I'm just a little bit cowardly because it's like so much time invested to get the keys, and the what's it called aren't bad. I've actually done really well with doing the organs for summoning Ubers, but I haven't actually gone. I went into it once with my Amazon, and that went less than stellar. So I was like, uh-huh. A day of investment, a day of exploration and experimentation. So I tried not to do too much on the content creators to see like what they did for the Ubers because I was trying to go my own way and pave my own path and what creature do I or what
I am overburdened.
main character do I use to get through it all and stuff like that. I'm like, oh
I am
boy,
overburdened.
this is steep. No wonder torches are a sought after item because you actually have to work for it. But I said the same thing about the Annies because my first attempt at the Annie was maybe a half an hour of just dying and starting over. But I got it. I ended up getting my own Annie, and it was just a really hard fight. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went through the experience because all of a sudden, the next time I saw them, like the Diablo clones be summoned, which was like every Thursday night here on the East Coast. Um, my buddy came in with a Mosaic Assassin, and he just stomped, like I mean stomped, and I was like, this is the possibility. I had no idea. I'm watching this guy just absolutely murder the Diablo clone, and I was astonished. I'm like, I need to get myself an assassin, and I'm like, hmm, do I? Do I really? Let me let me think of this a little bit. So I decided to invest a little bit more effort and time into my barbarian because he seems to be my more um, well-rounded character. As much as I love my Amazon, oh my god, I love just hurling javelins left, right, and sideways. Um,
Good day.
she's a little um, fragile. I don't really have her down pat when it comes to like longevity type of thing. So that's still like a kind of like a work in progress. Um, she's really good. I really enjoy her, but the barbarian seems with little investment and effort. Um, yeah, that's cool. Um, seemed to have really like filled that gap that I was looking at. Um, he's a very hey little soul. We'll keep those in the normal spot. We won't donate those to the low rune area. But yeah, the barbarian seems to really like fit the niche that I have. I was trying the paladin out, and he's supposed to be the the man of the hour, and I'm sure he is. I just the gameplay style doesn't really fit my needs.
I am overburdened.
Um, I like being a freight train that just goes into stuff and wrecks it. So there's not a lot of like finesse or there's no finesse actually. Just let's be serious. Um, and that's exactly how I like to play. Um, it's absolutely how I like to play World of Warcraft. It's absolutely how I like to play StarCraft. Um, mostly any of the games, Rise of Nations, you just you get like you turtle for a little bit, you get a little defensive, you get your economy rocking and rolling, and then you just get the biggest like army of whatever it is, heavy hitting, hard hitting powerhouses, and you just steamroll whatever it is. You just there's no there's no artistry to it. It's just a bruiser. It's a you know it's a bruiser. It's a Rocky Balboa. Little to no beauty behind it. Just all go. I definitely value the individuals that are sitting there, you know, artfully creating their armies and balancing and giving like this, kind of like, strategic assessment to it. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I've got 45 tanks, so, and usually the brute force 45 tanks can mostly do it, unless like in a game of StarCraft somebody's sitting there with like ghosts or something, and suddenly you're at a disadvantage. Like then I'm like, good game. I'm gonna go play single player. I'm gonna go play the storyline, which I probably have beaten 8 trillion and a half times, but at least in the story mode, I know what I'm doing, and I can get through it all. So we all have our strengths, we all have our areas of opportunity. So what it is identifying them and kind of deciding what you want to do with it. Do I want to
I am overburdened.
dedicate my time to learn how to be strategic and work the system, or do I want to just play my way and get the enjoyment out of it the way I want and never think twice about it? Like
I am overburdened.
that's one of the best things. Like I'm never gonna stay up at night wondering like, oh, I could have beat that guy if I just did X, Y, and Z. No, I'm gonna peacefully nod off to sleep knowing that, oh yeah, I created 45 of one unit, and that 45 of that one unit just made it right through whatever the content was, and I was down to like 38 units. Like, you know, I call that a win. I could be down to one unit. You still get a W. So it's a matter of what are you willing to do to get the W, in the sense of like, do you want to balance your act? Do you want to have ranged and front line and specialty, or do you just want like a front line that's just smash and grab? So that's why the barbarian is my boy. He's just you know goes through and does his job. So, and I'm still fine tuning. I'm still learning how to like improve and add little nuances here and there. So, and that's the most amazing thing about the game. You know, this game is nearly 20 years old. In theory, because of Lord of Destruction. But obviously, D2R is only about 2 to 3 years old. 3 years old, maybe three. Um, so you've got an updated, more attractive, more visually appealing version of it. But essentially, it's the same creature as what was out,
Can't carry anymore.
back in the early 2000s. Um, actually, yeah, early 2000s, late 90s. Yike, yike. Time flies. But
I can't
it's
carry
just
anymore.
fascinating. You can just be so diverse in a video game, and that's I mean, honestly, that's what made games greater back in the day, because you had this well planned, well thought out, finished-ish product. There's always room for improvement, so there's always balance changes. There's always
I am
kind of like
overburdened.
tweaking that occurs, but you know for the most part, I've kind of shied away from like recent video games because you don't
I
get a
can't
finished
carry
product. You get
anymore.
like a half-baked product, and then kind of they seem to um, fine tune it as they go along, and it just seems like it's a lesser product in sense. Um, you know, I know there are always deadlines. I know there are always time frames that they've got to keep within, and that's always a bummer because
I am
you know
overburdened.
you can't ever rush greatness. Like that's just a fact of the matter. Um,
I can't carry anymore.
you wouldn't have told like Michelangelo, hey, you told us it would take us 18 months to paint the Sistine Chapels. We got a guy that can do it in 6 months. It's like you know you get the guy that does it in 6 months. It's like finger painting, and it's different. you know so instead you pay an artist or a developer or a creator to create, and they will create what they feel is the best end result. So it's kind of unrealistic to put some type of time frame. Yeah, obviously you need some kind of rails, otherwise you
It's
get like
locked.
a scenario where it's never good enough, and it just keeps getting bumped down the road,
I
bumped
can't
down the
carry
road,
anymore.
and you're stuck in limbo because you this could be better, that could be better. So you have to have some sort of humility and know when to say when and say, okay, this is what we got. This is going to be considered, you know, finished. So, but yeah, this is just another masterpiece from Blizzard.
I can't carry anymore.
And we used to do it, we used to play endlessly. We still kind of
I am
do. It's,
overburdened.
those are my friends that still are interested in this game, still kind of like,
I am
have
overburdened.
a obsession with completion or grails or always crafting. Like crafting is always a big thing because you just never know what's going to pop out. Um, it's just, again, it's fun. It's fun to see what you can create. So, and sometimes you create stuff that, just,
I can't carry anymore. I
uh,
can't carry anymore.
what that, what that. Um, can I put that somewhere? What is this? One. No. Yeah. It's nice to let your
I
imagination
can't
just
carry
rip
anymore.
because you kind of sit back, relax, and let what happen happen. It's fun to see unrestricted creativity. What is this? Bulcanthos. Huh. Very nice. No, I have both actually now. Because I think my sorceress has the other sword. That's cool. Alright, I'll keep that just to have the set. Um, why not? Alright. Not as profitable as I would hope. Um, we're moving along, but I thought we would be a little bit different by now. We got that soul rune, so we got something. Yeah, right, right. Voila. These are just going to be kind of like the bulk runes. This was crafted yesterday that I was pretty happy with. I was trying to find something for my Amazon. I didn't find anything, of course. Um, this is getting a little full, but we'll figure that out as we go along. I found that yesterday night. That's something else. Yeah, just overall entertaining. What else we got? Oh yeah, we gotta get rid of bulls. We'll get that there. we'll get that taken care of. Always freeing up space where we can free up space. So 2 slots is better than no slots. All right. See what we can come up with. It's interesting that some of the content creators only go after like the elite mobs. Obviously, like I get it. There's a chance for, you know, better drops. And I guess if they're going after that, they're only looking for uniques, which would be good because sometimes you have to differentiate like what you're hunting for.
I am overburdened.
Oh boy. Um, you know, because item find to me is, you know, you're looking for almost any kind of items. Um, you're looking for uniques, you're looking for base items, you're looking for runes, of course. Um, you're looking for,
I can't carry anymore.
I guess, whatever you're on the hunt for. Oh, hello. Man, item find comes through again. Alright, so it's not a Geeds, because I could pick it up. So it's a Sunder charm. I seem to be on like a Geeds like drought, um, which is a little bit of a bummer because Mikey likey Geeds. I'm looking for a 40, and so far it's oh man, what a morning. Okay, amulets everywhere, every amulet everywhere. Okay. Yeah, it's like you're not getting more loot from me from that one, sir. You're getting the amulet, and you're gonna like it. Um, you know, either they took Geeds out of my programming and I can't get it online anymore, or who knows. But I have not hit a Geeds in a hot minute,
I can't carry
a
anymore.
hot month.
I can't carry anymore.
Um, and like, there's so many like weird superstitions, you know, that you kind of like get wrapped up in your own skull. So it's like I've got a bunch of Geeds on like other characters, just in preparation for when I want to level them or distributing them because I'm a pack rat and I don't want to give up anything because I like every single item in the game silly enough. So you get wondering like, oh my gosh, do I have too many Geeds on me? And oh, I heard that. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We'll take it. That is not bad. It's not a low rune, so obviously Sunday morning is good for us. Apparently, who knew? But again, you know, if I hadn't stopped at that like stupid little stash, you know, I'd be walking away 1 dole less. 1 dole less. Whatever. 1 less dole rune. So it always pays to just give it a shot. You know, it's your time, it's your energy, it's your uh, attention span, it's your everything. So if you dig it, you dig it. If this isn't your style of gameplay, it's not your style of gameplay. So it's
I am
everyone's got their
overburdened.
flavor. I am passionately in love with peanut butter perfection,
I am overburdened.
found at our local Cumberland Farms. I have no idea how, when, or why I ever stumbled upon it. I think I was
I need a
living
key.
in my condo at the time, and I was probably playing a late night round of Warcraft. I was farming whatever the heck I was farming. Likely it was herbs for potions for raid night, and I got a wicked case of the munchies. So headed off to Cumbies down the road and And sure enough, I was like, oh, they got ice cream. Okay, what's, you know, and as soon as you see the word peanut butter,
I am overburdened.
I don't know, it's kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm going to give that a whack, and holy moly. The little peanut butter cups with the fudge and the peanut butter flavored ice cream, just winner. So that's my
I
flavor.
need a key.
Just like this is the way I like to play Diablo Resurrected. Um, and again, you know, it makes me happy. It keeps me entertained. It keeps my mind off of things. It allows me to be creative. You know, it scratches my itch for like the Dungeons and Dragons type of mentality because you know your characters are loosely based in some kind of fantasy D&D type of world. Um, fun enough. It's like now you're at the end stage of the game and you're a mercenary for hire because you've basically conquered everything. So your assignment is to take out the Diablo gang family. So end game is a lot of fun because again you're at that state. Okay, wow, we're good. Even though it's not my favorite, we'll put it in the stack. Um, now it's almost like comical to go after like Diablo and Bale and Mephisto and everything like that. You're just like, yep, this is almost routine. Versus like when you're first starting your character out, like every single like advancement and stages and levels is like you're just thankful to get there. Like it's a breath of fresh air, it's a relief, it's progress. Now it's just like I love throwing it in cruise control and just riding down the highway. This is effortless and excellent and just plain out fun.
I am overburdened. I am overburdened.
It's amazing because I have other friends that can't do this. I have friends that literally are allergic to this and find it to be so unfulfilling and so ungratifying. And it is incredible mentally to me because it's like, wow, really? Like this is like a blast. Like I'm just sitting back, relaxing, just letting it rip. And they want to, every single character has to be brand new. Every single character has to be a new experience. And man, that's admirable, admirable. Um, Great way to look at it. Great way to enjoy the game. And again, my hat's off to you. Oh, wow, what a morning. Holy mackerel. All right. Sunday morning is the way to go, I see.
I am
So much for
overburdened.
sleeping in and so much for, being lazy at the
I
kitchen
can't.
table with breakfast. Oh, yeah, you can. Where there's a will, there's a way, folks. All right, still no Geeds. Well,
I can't carry
breaking my
anymore.
heart here, kids. Where is a Geed's Grand Charm? Anybody see
I
one?
need a key.
Okay, okay, okay.
I can't.
Hold your horses. That was maximum effort for minimal return. It's alright. Oh, hi. Were you waiting on me? So patient. Yike. Take that. Eh. Done split a seam while trying to kill the guy. What do you know? My biceps were too big and ripped the shirt as I was swinging my swords. It happens. It happens. Gotta get that extra, extra, extra large. Nope. Barbarian walks into a tailor shop. Excuse me, do you have Enigma in an XXXXXXL? Well, yes, sir. How about that? We just so happen to carry that size. Oh, the Shield of Shields. Mr. Saigon. That's fantastic. Haven't had that in forever. Thought it was the best shield ever in the game. +1 to skills. Sign me up. And then you find out that it's hot garbage compared to like a rune word. That's what you get, you know, in beginning of Nightmare. Actually, beginning of Nightmare. Oh, that's right. I don't have a monarch or a spirit. Oh yeah. Oh well. Barbarians don't need shields. Their body is their shield. If you're not walking around with 5 million scars, you're not a real barbarian. So, one of the most amazing things that I ever read when I read the Conan Chronicles, you know, they oh wow, okay. Garbage and garbage. That's fine. And what is this? 2 to all skills. Defensive aura, damage demons, attack rating demons, 25 damage undead, 206 attack rating undead, 2 to light. Okay, so clearly that is absolutely why a paladin breaks everything. Wow. So what can... I bet you that can roll higher on damage to demons. Let's see. Let's get creative, shall we? Seraphs. Him. Okay. So, 2 to all skills, 1 to 2 to defense. I got the max roll for that. 20 to 40 in demons. So, or 20, excuse me, 20 to 50 in demons. So better, not bad. 150 to 250 on attack rating. So that's really, really good. 20 to 50 on undead. Meh. 150 to 250 on attack rating against undead, and then 2 to light. I mean, that's a good roll. Like I'm nowhere sad about that. I'm honestly sad about those though, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go over here. So that will incentivize me to kind of finish off the paladin. He's stuck somewhere in... Oh, where is he stuck? He's stuck in hell. And he's not really stuck. That's not really completely honest. It's more my lack of enthusiasm to use him, which is my own... That's me. As always, I'm being kind of like, you know, greedy or self-focused and like, I want to be able to cruise through this. I don't want to have to work. Even though it's obviously it's not work, it's just a lot of a lot of left clicking. But I'll get motivated again to get the paladin on the road, because I'd like to see how that world lives taking on Ubers, because I've seen Smiters just decimate like any of the Uber bosses, and that would be another incentive to farm torches. That way I could start a torch collection. My Annie collection is growing by leaps and bounds. Oops, that's the wrong one.
I am overburdened.
It's kind of like, you know, community Annies, like everybody gets one. And as I get better and better ones, I just start swapping them out for the better and better ones. I actually don't know which my best one is, which is silly because you'd think it would be like the highest priority, is just put the best one on your, you know, the character of choice.
I can't carry anymore.
That's intriguing. I'm gonna get a little inquisitive. Um, 2018-8. Yeah, so like I'm pretty positive this is my best of options because I'm 2 off on both resistance and experience. I would almost just want to get the 2 in experience because that would be magnificent. Um, just to like any assistance whatsoever to boost up the speed of leveling. Um, like we're doing fine right now. I'm having a good old time, but obviously I've never hit 99. That's a lofty goal um, on any of my characters because I just haven't done it. It's plain and simple. I just do other stuff or go back to other games for the time being, and Ark will put out a map, and I have to go and collect every dinosaur known to man on that game because that's a 6 obsession that I have. Have every color, have every iteration, have everything. So, and then find out new ways of trapping them, find out new ways of taming them, find out new ways of boss strategies. But that game, unfortunately, is a love-hate relationship because it's a love-hate relationship. But I always somehow come back to Diablo because it's pure. It's pure. I like, as silly as this might sound, I really appreciate that there's like no mods on this on BattleNet. It's really it gets the essence of the game correct because it's you. I keep coming back to this and I sound like a broken record, I'm sure, but it's you against you. You're not whatever you're getting, whatever you're storing, whatever you are pushing yourself through content wise is your reward. Like that is your gift to yourself. So, you know, every success, every inch forward is just on you. You're not relying on a mod. You're not relying on an alteration. You're just as vanilla as the game was meant to be.
I can't
I
carry anymore.
I will say that on offline play, the ability to have larger stashes and more tabs is a wonderful thing. Um, I don't quite like the limitation of slots and of
I need a key.
holding, but I do understand its need because you do have to make sacrifices. You know the you're only going to be able to carry so much. You're only going to be able to utilize so much, and it's slightly unrealistic to kind of think that it's like endless. But if you're a completionist and you're looking to do the Holy Grail list, it would be nice to be able to kind of have a check mark system to say that okay, I've acquired this, I've acquired that. This is this is what's left, and that way you know you're you're not relying on
I
good
can't
old
carry
fashioned like pen
anymore.
and paper, or you're not alt tabbing to like Excel and putting a one next to it type of thing. But eh, eh, little like little things. Um, I've almost resorted to taking photographs of like my other tabs. That way, if I'm like, oh, what character do I have this on? I'm not sitting here like loading through all my characters and just blindly like, is it on you? Is it on you? Like, I know I've got a peasant crown. Where's that peasant crown floating around? Who was the last one that was that level that I could use it on? Yeah,
It's locked.
not for long. Could have stayed locked, that's fine. How'd you guys get up there? Yes, right over there.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Mm-hmm. Do we get both of them? Yeah, we got. Yep. All right. Round 3, round 4, some round, short round. Do we have? Nope. Oof. We're getting snug. That's okay. Mm-hmm.
It's locked.
And it's very funny because up until yesterday, I didn't know that itchies had bodies, like dead corpses. So that was funny. So hellstorms, itchies, any of those type
Need
of
a
like,
key.
wow, you're gonna test my patience with that, huh? Ugh. Ta-da! It's almost like what's your most sought after drop? Or like what is your most repetitive drop? Like what do you seem to get every single day, or not every single day, but like more consistently? Oh, hello. Um, I haven't seen that in a good long while. That's nice.
It's locked.
It sure is. Could have stayed locked. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That charm isn't necessary at this. None of them really are. All right. Would like to buy orange flavor text, Alex, for 100, please. So far we've got a soul, a dole. Can we get a low?
I am overburdened.
Is there a favorite rune? I'm sure there's a favorite rune. It's probably like either Ist or wasn't that, but thank you. Well, there's the orange flavor text. You got my request. Thank you. The rune gods did it again. I should have been more specific. That's usually my fault. Should have included like the clause of like a high rune, please. But we'll take it. It's the something is better than nothing mentality.
I can't carry anymore.
I think for me, Lem might be one of my favorites. Because I remember when the rune system first came out, and they were talking about like wealth, which was like Lemco tier. Um, I thought Lem was unobtainable. I'm like, I'm never gonna get this rune. This rune is so high. Um, and lo and behold, I think I have like a half a dozen Lem. But it was one of those like sought after accomplishments. You're like, and of course you're thinking like 100 to magic find, like this is so good, um, and you have like
I am overburdened.
come to find out like Talraj's armament with a perfect amethyst, perfect topaz, or a ist rune, just smashes that out of existence. And then the invention of like Enigma, you're sitting there with like magic find equivalent to your level, but you can't socket it, which is fine. Kind of like, it's got to have some kind of like downfall or restriction. So because it's socketed item itself. Um, but yeah, that holds a very very special place in my heart because I actually think I still have um, wealth. My actually I think my only wealth from way back in the day, because it was cool. Like it was a cool thing, and it was worked for. Like I grinded for it, and like everything, it got replaced. What is new becomes old. Time marched on. I didn't think I even realized that there was the ability to upgrade runes at the time. I don't remember. That's a little too long ago for my short-term memory to process. There we go. No, no, that's about
I
right.
can't carry anymore. I can't carry
Ugh,
anymore.
bad rolls. Bad rolls. But I can also remember, like, I distinctly remember the days of when I played, like, religiously, that we were always looking for Zod somehow. I just,
I am
what's the
overburdened.
word? Um, Disillusioned. You're like, oh, I'm gonna find a Zod.
I can't
I'm gonna
carry
find
anymore.
a
I am
ethereal
overburdened.
lightsaber, and it's gonna be the best weapon in the game. And oh boy, oh, how time and things have changed. That's not even remotely accurate, but that's I remember that thinking. I remember that swords were pretty fantastic on the Whirly Barb, and the lightsaber at the time was the choice of champions. And I know we're talking
I am overburdened.
forever ago, an entire lifetime ago, but oh, take that.
I can't carry anymore.
Now you can't live without like grief. Grief seems to be the only option in weapons, and I can see why. You know, it's super powerful. It's allowed this character to skyrocket into the DPS world. I remember distinctly uh, just whirlwinding in circles, which felt like forever, just to kill something, like kill cows. It was literally a cow run, and I'm just over and over and over again. I'm like, this is tedious. Like this actually just feels bad. Um, Hence why I actually did the Amazon, because I was like, oh, the Amazon will just, oh, hello, small charmy charm. That made it all worth it. Um, I was whirlwinding, the cow level, and I am pretty positive that I dropped twice because I just got. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So much for my keys. Um, yeah, I remember whirlwinding endlessly, and I couldn't get any traction because I just they was taking minimal damage, and every single time I got swiped by cows, I'd be losing a quarter of my life, half my life. So it was a phenomenon where I didn't feel like I was making headway. So got on my Amazon, put my Amazon to work. I had regular standard Titans. I had upgraded them. I had um, I had gone on like a Countess raid where I was just every single time going to Countess, going to Countess, going to Countess, and I was getting gobs and gobs of runes, and just I was upgrading, upgrading, upgrading. So my Amazon was my first to receive an Enigma. Once I received my Enigma, I was able to go even harder on Magic Find. I was able to get like the Ariad's Face. I was able to get the Immortal King's like complete set for the warrior, and I just kind of said, okay, let me let me go back to the warrior, see what I can do. Barbarian warrior, same idea. Um, Let me go back and see what I can do. And slowly he started to like kind of evolve. Um, he started to do like the Arcane Sanctuary. Um, what do we got? Still that? Okay. Um, no, stop it. Thank you. And finally he got enough traction. Skin of the Flayed one. Oh, not what I thought it was. Okay. Life stolen, enhanced damage, replenished life, attack. Okay, that's cool. Something else to have. What can we do? What can we do? Do we have anything to... Nope. Okay. We'll just start moving it over here for now. Running out of space. Yeah, fine. You're there. You're lower than I want to keep, but it'll do. It'll do, pig. It'll do. What did I get? 17 to life. Nah. They're not all that impressive anymore. Let's try that again. There we go. I heard them all. Gotta catch 'em all. Let's see. What do we got here, folks? Hmm. Empty. They heard I was coming. Oh, wow. They really did. Ah, I see. Party over here. Main banquet hall. Oh, son of a gun. Forgot my keys. got rid of him and didn't bother to replenish him. Alright.